Welcome to part number 2 of my Imperator Rome playthrough as what presently is the Pritanian iteration of soon-to-be Albion. Hopefully we have some missions to roll through here. We've conquered this territory relatively easily, used 3 mercs, or started with 1, up to 2, and ended up with 3. They did most of the heavy lifting. Could action this, but why? It's going to make the Margiani family agitated, 25 loyalty, so there's no reason to do that now until we're ready to hit this. And we can't really do that until we can get that. And we need a 40 civ value in our capital, and presently only have a 33.74. So necessarily we're going to be mulling about, waiting, spending our PI, build some cities here or there. Speaking of here or there, we have farmland, river, coastal territory here. We probably should make that the capital of the province. Let's see if there are any other advantageous territories for city building. This area here comes to mind. It's a forest, unfortunately, for this province. Let's see, is it coastal? Nearby river is all that it has. It doesn't say anything about coastal, but by pop capacity, they're about the same, really, other than this one is presently the capital. Why not pop a city there? We can't even afford it, so we'll wait. I'm going to extract my pops that I use for colonization, bring them back up here and place them in one of these 2 cities here. Being a druidic religion and off on an island somewhere is really some interesting opportunities relative to standard. At least the standard way that I use my innovations. Normally, as I mentioned in the last episode, I would use the religious advances to go down to formulatic worship as quickly as possible. It's a lot of innovations. We started with 0. 2 more have popped in the downtime. We could go down here toward this provincial census and a loyalty of characters here, which is nice. And also get some PI, as in we're really in no particular hurry for assimilation. We're not going to top out our research efficiency or max research either anytime soon, although that should come up pretty quick when we start building more cities. But I'm going to try it this way here. We'll get a tyranny, a positive tick, and then 10% more influence here as well. So that should help with city building. And build a nice inland city here in Dorne. We have the money just barely. The PI, let's do it. We'll switch the capital there as well while we're at peace. Take some more money here. Build a city here as well. The national slave output should get us a little bit more funding. A feud going on. We may as well just take the stability and let both of these characters lose just a tad bit of loyalty. Marganas. So I would have let them take the hit as they're going to go mad anyway. Now we have some PI coming in here, 5,000 for 45, I'll take it. Civ values rising, it's at 38.44. We're going to reach that 40 threshold relatively quickly. Why should I be in a rush? Well, I shouldn't be, actually, because I want to get all of these tribals into cities, so there'll be nobles as opposed to tribals when we switch over to a republic. Let's build another city up here on the border. We've done it, and we'll build it right here. There's a barbarian on the prowl. I'm sort of short on pops, so why mess with them? They'll drop pops along the way. I'm happy. New city is hit here. Whereabouts is that? Let's see. It presently only has 5 pops. We need to get primary culture pops, of which there are quite a few about. Fill her up. I think we have another one coming in, so we'll just leave that be like that. Good fortune, I'll take it. Another city here in Glebum. There. Let's fill her up there as well. There should be quite a few primary culture pops about. Whoops. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A bunch, in other words. Even more than a bunch. A surprising amount. On we go. We can get Senate Chambers, Pop Happiness, Civ Value plus 5%, so that will throw us over the top. Is that instantaneous? Doesn't look that way, no, but our Civ Value is now max. Well, we'll see. The month will roll over and we'll find out. Boom, we have an invention. Let's find out here. Yep. So, It's our maximum value. We don't get the 5% here, but we are over the 50 now, so this should rise on its own accord. At some point, again, there's no rush. Should we head off and conquer someone on the continent here before we form Albion or switch to a republic? We'd have to build a navy or hire one. We have no AE. It's always bad to have no AE and never not burning any. We have a lot of tyranny as well, which means it would come down very quickly. There's a very large defensive league there. We don't really want to tangle. How about you? I see. A singular ally. Venelia and Alsasmia. Yeah, this is a decent start, I suppose. How about you? That's a nice major river around here, if I recall correctly. This is a very nice city hex here. If you build one, let's see. Forest over here. We have adjacent to major river, a coastal. We could build a port there. I'm pretty sure we can. If we declare that war, what happens? These two. That sounds like a decent plan. Let's drop some PI on that eventuality and see. Boats really don't cost all that much to maintain. I could have 10 of these for 0.8 gold. So I'm going to get a start here, and then maybe we'll build maybe 30 of them or whatnot. Let's build another city up here on the border, as we can move all of the Caledonian pops, at least many of them from this Caledonian region along this border. So we'll build a city right there. Another city is popped. Where is it? It's right here. Let's populate it. This city here is wildly primary culture. We could move some over here and grab some non-primary culture from, say, wherever. Say here. We'll get some of these guys there, and then we'll move them into here. So the ratios are not screwy. And that should work there as well. So it's still wildly primary. Ratios are all good. Okay, so Vela is hit. We have our singular ship. We need more. Our new city is hit. Yet another. Let's see. We can populate it, I'm sure. Always use more stability. Let's see how our fleet is doing. Reasonably well. We need more ships. Time has passed. We just got a breakthrough. Let's check our let's see. We can get 0.02 aggressive expansion, and then Xnay off 10, which sounds like a really good idea. The fleet is mostly built. We have this merc here. We have some money in the bank. Let's get this guy bought off. The city building project in our home region is going over very well, especially relative to our levy count. We have a surprisingly large levy, so we should in essence be able to send this merc over here, assault this fort, and then come back and pick up whatever levies we can't ferry on our fleet, assault these two forts, peace out, and then get back to city building. So far so good. Another assault later, 2 forts down, 2 to go, and it is over for them. I'm going to bring this merc back to the island. I don't want to lose him out here. I'm going to go with a very loyal and competent governor. Let's check the status of his health and such. Perfect health. No malice. And then try to place some actual policies here. Against better judgment. The guy will get dysentery or whatnot and die. But we'll see if that happens or not. So we're going to try some assimilative activities here and just leave these be for now. I note here there's a couple of smaller tribes here. This tribe is only 2 territories. This tribe is only 2 territories, and it's in our province we are looking to develop via cultural assimilation. I'm going to file a claim on one of these 2 here. Burn the 20 PI and see if we can come back and consolidate this province for assimilation and city building and such. Could use another city in our capital area, I'm sure. These border cities here are mostly a primary culture, but I know if you just plop a bunch of pops, say from Caledonia, down into these cities, it can get out of control really fast, especially if you don't have a theater. So I'm going to move some of these pops, non-primary culture pops, out into the fields or non-urbanized territories of this province, and see if I can dredge up some primary culture pops and place them in there. Add another advance, oratory advance, so we can take this, proceed here and do away with all of our aggressive expansion we just took, and then there's no reason not to take that. Let's do it. Our civ value is not yet 50, so I see really no reason to take this and give our Magani family a reason to become disloyal and start a civil war. So if we click this, we can then click that, wait the 12 months, and do it, as opposed to waiting for our civ value to rise in our capital and having these guys disloyal at the same time. There's no reason. We want to limit the exposure to this 25 loyalty malice, so we're going to wait. A civics advance, I think that can get us either our theater or bookbinding. There's no hurry for theater per se, other than we sort of are. We'd have to build a city over here, though. I don't think there is one. There's not. So let's take the bookbinding. These cities are out of whack in these ratios, and our research rates specifically can rise precipitously very quickly once these ratios get in order and the nobles start to promote, especially if we get more academies. Flame is about to hit. I'm going to summon up these levies again, get on board. And war it is. Should be quick and out. Assault. We can't get out this territory, it's no problem. We have these new territories that we've taken, which are going to benefit from our assimilation policy. Another advanced marshal we can take now, the theater. Just get that out of the way. A nice attrition modifier we can take here. We of course need a new city. I never built one in Dorne. Let's do that. New capital city is up. Going to populate it. 48.47 civilization value. There's really no rush though. Actually, I want to move some of these pops from these areas here down into our auto assimilation region. The capital region where all the policies are set for assimilation. Well, here we are. We've reached 50 civ value in our capital and can action that mission here quickly. These guys will lose some loyalty. Once we get the 100 PI, we can action that, and then this quickly go through 12 months of madness. We have a high stability. There's no reason to war at this point. We have no aggressive expansion. I want to get some, but I also don't want any trouble during our transitionary period. Our neighbors are in fairly large defensive leagues and such. There's someone over here that could be dealt with, but maybe we'll get a claim from a matter of whatnot. So, in the hopes of moving all of these pops here, over here for auto assimilation, we just don't have the money for that kind of movement. Maybe I'll get some of these pops down here and then in this province for assimilation, but I'm going to disperse these pops here while I can. Like this one has a fair number of pops. They'll assimilate and convert. Well, they won't convert because they're all druid. They'll assimilate faster without any sort of nudge from me if there are less of them in any given territory. So I'm going to disperse these pops evenly throughout here and just make the transition once we get the 100 PI. We have an older tribal chief. We'll take the corruption. Why not do it to get 60 PI? That can throw us over the top. If we take the second option here, this is the Morgani family who are going to go mad when we click this mission, which is going to be exactly right now. So, what is this? Looks as though we can do that. Apparently that's here. So we've done that. Is that the same? Or? Looks like it is. And now we can trigger this immediately. Unfortunately, I forgot to take these guys off their offices before clicking that button. So we need to get all these guys off any government position at all. They're going to be scorned and we won't care. There was civil war popped up there for a moment. We had to bribe the head of the Margiani clan there. We still have stuff we can do. We can exalt him or grant him some holdings and whatnot. We'll see what happens. About halfway through, nothing to report. We can do it almost. Boom. We've done it. Now we can click this. Popularity greater than 80. Let's see. As one might expect, the program has taunted me with a 79. I've been taunted a few too many times by this insane program that sets up stuff like this, so I'm gonna console up one more popularity and taunt it back. So there we have it. I could start a war somewhere, but it's very involved. Get some popularity in that manner. Anyway, the point being, I probably should have planned for that and had a war against this guy. Whatever the case, if you're doing this, I suggest you do plan for it. So we can do this at any moment. I probably wouldn't have consoled it if it wasn't such a, well, interesting coincidence, as happens so often in Imperator. Anyway, I'm going to use what gold I have. We're going to move some of these Caledonian pops down to our city complexes here. Click that button, turn into a republic. We're out of money. I moved as many pops as is possible, which translates roughly into not many. Let's do this thing right now. Thump. Finish the mission. And start the matter of Belgica. Let's do that immediately. And get some free claims. And carry on. This is an overdub here. We are about to form Albion, just sort of rearranging, get these policies in place. Had to jump through a couple of civil war hoops. The party leader, the former monarchist, he's the populist or Democrat leader now. And there it is, we've done it. I'm gonna forget exactly what I was talking about. We still have quite a force count of levies available. Head over to the continent there and see about acquiring more land, etc. Alright, we're about 1 minute into the unpause, or actually 2 seconds. Our Margiane monarchist populist Democrat was somehow determined that he would lead our new republic as our Archon. So satiated him, and now we have a new party leader who's even crazier or madder than he is. So we need to get this guy satiated or dealt with. I suppose we'll give him a job, which I'm sure will cause more seats in the Senate for these Democrats. There it is. I gave him free hands. He'll be dead before long. Hopefully he's happy. And we're going to change the law right here immediately to extended terms. Maybe I'll wait on that until the populist is out of office. It's a good idea. A decent time to swap over one of our deities. We'll grab pop capacity here. Also note that this area here does not have city, clearly is in need of one. We're back on a positive tick. Let's create a city right here. Just enough gold, let's do that. Build a theater there and get this area assimilated. Our mission has hit. We have some legal chicanery. We'll take the stability. See where we have claims now. That's nice, that's nice. So we have claims on this large defensive league here. So I don't think they can cope with it. I'm going to just save up some money. I suspect we could probably deal with it with our levies, but it could get tedious with the forts, the assault thing, morale and such. So we need mercs. Let's hire this merc and get him riled up ASAP. We'll hire this as well. These guys are unfortunately in the middle of a war with Treveria. Yep. I'm going to fabricate a claim here unless I already have one. I don't. That way we can just take this whole lot. I'm going to start ferrying troops over there. As our present Archon only has a 0 marshal, we're going to have to tag along with these mercs who can lead the assaults and or battles. Have another legal chicanery, I'll take it. 230 gold from a job will relieve him of his old position. Put our old researcher back in there who has the polymath trait. We have new Archon, stability drop. I'm going to change that law right now. extended terms. We'll take some stability drop, will not worry either. I'm going to hire this merc, get him marching up towards the would-be battle. Looks as though this lot have pieced out, and unfortunately, my claim against Treveria is no longer valid. I don't see why I should not declare war on this tribe right now. Let's see who... Yep. Let's do it. Let's get this ball rolling. We'll roll up here, assault that as well. Low maintenance fort, it should work. Boom. Let's get on to the next fort here. Stack wiped someone. And assault. City just popped. Let's build a theater there immediately. Consolidate primary culture pops there. Let's assault that fort. Boom. Then check the status of our fighting force here. It's not underwhelming, just a bit of morale challenge. We'll go right here. We can grab another levy from this area here and have them occupy that as well. Let's assault. Boom. Gone through some assaults. These mercs are reorganizing, getting some work done over here. It's going very well in theory. Let's see if we can sue for peace early. We can. We'll get some of these guys off the field. We don't really need the tyranny at this point. We'll not do it. We can sue for peace here as well. And we've done it. These guys can't handle just the sheer numbers that we have. They're not irrespectable levies, but they're just not enough. Assaulted this fort away here. We need to reorganize. We can peace out with this large combatant separately. I'm sort of surprised with the 46 war score, but I'll not argue with it. That should get some units off the field for sure. This captured prisoner is not a thing, as all these guys were sent off to the gulag. We have some missions we can complete. We'll do that. And into Belgica. There we get population happiness and tax. I'll buy this merc, why not do it? Get him on the wall, we'll siege that down. Closing this war down. This separate peace helped a lot. The force count is low, and we have 18,000 headed here to this fort. We're going to occupy that. War goal is secure. I have a lot of troops here. We're going to assault this fort, close this war out. And now seems a decent enough time to check. I see. Ooh. Well, at least he's like not gone our way. There is that. He could be right up in here, I suppose, relative to this exposure there. Wow. He's off to quite the tear. Took a quick look at the status of our loyalties and such. As one might imagine, the tribals that are legacy here are no longer happy with their situation. At some point, I need to move these guys, or at least as many slaves out of this area as I can. Get them over here. Even with all that, there's just not enough pop growth here, and I don't want to focus on that aspect of the game. I want to build some cities and consolidate these tribals, soon to be Albion citizens, into said cities, much the same as we're starting here. So, we have 10 provincial improvements in the bank. I don't want to spend any here. I'd probably use it on state infrastructure. My point is, like, do I need the pop capacity there? Not so much, because there's just not the pops. They can come from migration, but it's very slow until you reach a level 12. This law can make them migrate faster, but... or where is it? Yeah, right here, migration speed plus 1.5. That's a ways off, and anyway, back to the war. We have 2 advances. We probably definitely want to utilize the long culture group happiness here and get to this theological colleges at some point as well. Let's assault that fort. Let's close Remia out just to avoid any strangeness that may or may not happen. There it is. I'm going to move these mercs back to the island so the enemy can't recycle them, and then disband these levies after the war ends, which is right now. I'm going to drop a assimilation here, I believe here as well. We can try. Hopefully it doesn't die. can probably use another city here in Rotomagus. Let's do that. We can finish making gains. We'll get a claim on a new area. And we have Nervia. We get 15 PI, I'll take that. And we have a Bellow 5 Freeman. Sounds good. I rarely use these missions, so I have no intention of building these slots and whatnot, so we'll just ignore this side. Mad Machine, Mad Machine. It has thwarted our continuation here by this tiny little province here in this very large tribe, which is very close to a very even larger Rome. There it is again, yep. Anyway, I think that should do it for this episode. I'm going to mull over the rationale behind taking this guy out and getting closer to Rome, or just canceling out the mission. I think we'll lose out on a free city, but we can address it at some point in the future or whatnot, open up another matter of whatnot. Anyway, I'm going to sort all that out in between episodes. I hope to see you in the next one.